We'll start right there. There we go. 3, 2, and 1. Well, Steve, welcome back at Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. You're the holiday fill-in, I guess we could say, right?
Yeah. I'm glad to be taking the reins here for Lois Cheesecake and reporting on what's going on in the city of Marshfield.
Indeed. Because Lois is, I don't know if, people outside of Marshfield, you don't know, she's probably the most popular person in Marshfield, right up there, at
She's a
least.
very popular person and well-deserved.
Yeah. And but you've been you're the administrator behind the scenes, obviously different setup there in Marshfield. You've got a part-time mayor, Lois, coming in 2 days a week. Some people may say, wait a minute, you're a town of 20,000 people, you don't have a full-time mayor. Well, that's why you've got an administrator behind the scenes, and it's just part of the way that the government works differently in different places.
Yeah, very different than the other communities around us. Wausau, Stevens Point, and Wisconsin Rapids all have full-time mayors and do not have administrators. And we're different here in that we have a part-time mayor and a full-time administrator to do the 40-hour-a-week work. So it works well here, and I'm glad to be here. Like I said, I came here, well, it's 2011, so I've been here now for 12 plus years, and it's been a wonderful run.
Yeah, and you've seen a lot of change in that time in Marshfield, and you've even got some more on tap. What are some of these big projects that you're looking forward to this year?
Well, certainly we've got some new retail coming online, which is good. A lot of work going on at the Marshfield Mall. People are excited about the new stores, Hobby Lobby, Ross, and also Five Below. And I believe Planet Fitness is still looking at coming in there as well. So that's happening. I understand that some of that should be taking shape as we get into the fall, be a well-received improvement. We've got a subdivision that our first subdivision as a city that's still filling up slowly, but 14 lots have been sold out of the 23 lots in what we call the Daniels Edition, a housing development on the west side of the community. We're still in need of more single-family lots for development, Michael, but at least this has provided good opportunities for people to buy and build here in the city of Marshfield. So residential is something we're excited about. And we're getting more interest in our business and industrial park. Right now we're working with a company that looks like they may be buying roughly 10 acres in our industrial park. I can't say a whole lot about it right now, but they would be bringing some good paying jobs and some good tax base to the community too. And actually, and probably Lois has talked about this in previous programs, but we did acquire last summer 120 acres of land adjacent to our industrial park from UW. And so now we're working on getting what's called certified site status, which means we'll be looked at as being shovel ready by the state of Wisconsin, by WEDC. And that will funnel more interest our way as people are looking for land that is ready to build on. So there's good things happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all, of course, it all ties together, because if you are going to be bringing in some manufacturing sector that brings, 80 to, 60 to $80,000 a year jobs with it, these companies want to know that the employees that they are hiring are either A, in the city already, possibly working at other jobs, maybe, looking for work, whatever that may be, or B, will have spots available that they can put down roots, and be that in some sort of a rental setting or being able to have a home ready to purchase right there. So both of those things go hand in hand.
Well, they do. And I've been around long enough to remember the days when economic development was considered to be free land in the industrial park. That's what it was all about, giving away land for people to build. Well, employers are looking for so much more. Yes, they would like to get land at lower discounted prices, but they want to know, is there a place where my employees can live? Are there other jobs for the spouses? Are there good schools? Are there parks, trails? Is there a nice pool? All those things are part of economic development. So housing definitely plays a role in getting businesses to come to the community.
Now, looking for shovel ready certification for the business park. Obviously, that is a big step for you, because as you mentioned, that means that the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation will be able to pitch that location to somebody. And I don't know the names, of course. I've tried to get you to tell me the names off the air, of course, but you can't. Because that's just the way these things work. But I will not stop badgering you for a Chick-fil-A on a side note. They're going to say, okay, we have Metalco for example, down in Wisconsin Rapids, which recently came in, they
Mhm.
want something like this. Your community fits their profile. How can you work with them? This is all going to get done behind the scenes before you can even start hinting at something like that to, well, somebody like me who's badgering you for information.
Yeah, and really gets even tighter than that. I mean, it's a while before we even start talking about these things with the council, and they're the elected officials. But initially, when people come to you, they want it made painfully clear that they don't want anything gotten out yet. They're feeling it out. Maybe they're looking at relocating from another city, and they don't want that community to know that they might be moving out of town, or they might have some questions that their own employees are wondering. Wait a minute, if they're going to be building a new facility here, am I still needed in my own community? Are they going to close this one in a couple of years? So they really want to just get a sense of what they can do without the whole world knowing about it. And I'm not saying we exclude our council, and we certainly include them at some point too, but we need to keep these things confidential because, in fact, I'll be honest, the person I'm working with right now has made it clear that he doesn't want anything known until the last minute because there may be some, uh, people back on his own end wondering what the future is of the facility they're in right now. They're expanding. They're not looking to close that one, but you want to be able to have all the pieces in place before you make announcements as to what might be happening.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are a long line of mayors and administrators leading behind you that have been burned on something where they've said, "Okay, we've leaked the information, we've said the information, and then things fall through, and all of a suddenly, you've got this great site that is sitting empty because interest in it dropped off because everybody said, okay, well, company XYZ is going to be moving in there, and things happen to fall through."
Yeah, and everything in economic development, Michael, is based upon reputation. It's all reputation based. And you'd be surprised how little time it takes in municipal government for a good reputation or a bad reputation to spread. When people hear that you're easy to work with, that you help them through the process, you hold their hand, make sure that they get the proper approvals, they will say wonderful things about you with their peers. If you walk them to the altar and leave them standing there because at the end of the day they say, you know what, we thought we could do this for you, but we can't, and sorry, then there's a bad taste in the mouth, and or if you leak out information about who they are prematurely, that really does hurt you in terms of the reputation you have with other developers.
So now that we've kind of peeled the curtain back a little bit on this economic development, as you said, you've got now new land in the industrial park that you're getting ready to make shovel ready for projects such as that. What does that entail? What does that mean that to have a site that is shovel ready?
Well, it's a lot, a lot. Right now, we're one of three cities that WEDC, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, is considering for naming this. I mean, there's a lot of them that already exist. These would be three new sites to be added to the list that they have already. And again, the benefit from that is that if you're on this list, that developers and site selectors see that and they know that they can look at coming here or at least exploring us because we're ready to go. But it's not just utilities and roads and all these things being in place. It's, have you done soil borings and soil testing? Have you identified the wetlands so that you're able to talk knowledgeably about that? Is there fiber available, reasonably close to serve the development's technology needs? What about rail? You'd be surprised, years ago I thought that rail would fade out by this time. It hasn't. I mean,
Right.
rail is still a big thing with a lot of our industrial customers. So is it available? If it's not, can it be extended in a reasonably short period of time to put a spur in, to help the company get going? These are the kind of questions that you need to ask. And right now, we've got two consulting firms working for us, one called Cedar Corp and one called Via Rail, who's looking mainly at the rail issue. And they're putting the pieces together for us to get the final application to the state. And hopefully later this year, we will earn that status. But at that point, developers, builders, site selectors will know that, boy, they've thought of pretty much everything that it takes to be prepared for the type of company that I might bring there.
So then, what is in the world according to Steve? What is the ideal company, the ideal business to come in and fill up that 100 or so acres? Did you say it was 150 somewhere in that
Yeah,
area?
120, 120.
120.
Uh,
What is the ideal business to come in there and fill that up, or is it multiple businesses?
yeah, it could be multiple businesses. I mean, I think that again, we have rail, which is really a big asset to companies that do rail service in and out of their facilities. But I think that, a lot of light industrial, it would fit in really well. It's in an area where I think that manufacturing is positive. We have some good ones there now. It's not too far from the business park, which of course we have prevention genetics, high tech, and those types of things. But we're obviously looking for clean businesses, technology businesses. But anything that can bring decent jobs and a good tax base is welcome. I mean, if they're family supporting jobs and they are, going to be able to give us some tax dollars to help us improve the park and the city as a whole, we'd love to talk to them. Really, all kinds of businesses would be welcome here. Those are just some of the ones that maybe, we look most favorably on.
Yeah, the ones that you would maybe lean into more. But yeah, absolutely. Somebody, you can always throw something at the wall to see if it'll stick.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm not trying to be negative, but certainly the ones that are environmental friendly is a benefit. We always talk about smokestack businesses. That's a generic term that means that they maybe aren't the cleanest environmentally speaking.
Mhm.
But the park accepts a lot of different uses in the industrial, including higher industrial, and we used to have frac sand in this park at one time, and frac sand has kind of drifted off now.
Right.
So we're prepared for anybody who's got a good quality business that can employ people and really provide some economic vibrancy to the community.
So with that said, when can we expect some maybe some news on either the shovel ready designation or I guess even any further expansion in the business park?
Well, I think that hopefully the shovel-ready status with the state will come into play in the fall. I'm hopeful. Right now, our consultants are finishing up their work that we need to submit the application, and I'm hopeful that within 3-4 months that the state will make its final decision. That would be a big step for us. We can start marketing it as a certified site. The company that we're working with right now, hoping to land, it's actually in a park, not part of the 120, but an adjacent piece of the industrial park that was pre-existing. And we're hopeful that we'll be able to make some announcement by the end of summer that they might be coming to open a facility here as well in the city. These are exciting things. There's interest in the business park. Talking with a company, we're actually talking with Weinbrenner, who has a big shoe factory downtown,
Hmm.
about moving them from the downtown area to the business park. They're light industrial and they would fit in Mill Creek Business Park. And they're interested in perhaps staying in the community and expanding in a better facility in a couple of years. So, I mean, that's early stages, but there's a lot of exciting things being talked about.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, we've also got to talk about some other great, exciting things going on in the city right now as well. You're about to open up the Vanda Hay Waters season
Yeah.
for a new term. What is new and exciting for families to get out there and splash around in the municipal pool?
Well, it's a wonderful facility for people who haven't been there. They ought to check it out. This is our second full season coming up, and we've worked out some things. You always learn when you open a facility,
Oh
whether
yeah.
it's staffing, whether it's concession stand, whether it's whatever. But boy, it's a quality facility that people can come as a family and enjoy, or just come on your own. Water slides, it's just a great place, and it's very popular, and it's a big part of economic development. We had the oldest municipal pool in the state of Wisconsin in Hefco before we replaced it.
Hmm.
And when somebody said that to me, I thought, yeah, okay, whatever. No, the person said, actually, in the entire state of Wisconsin, this is the oldest municipal pool. It was 1930, 34 or 36. And now we have a state-of-the-art aquatic center. But there's a lot of other things going on in the city to check out too. It's a great time of year. We have a lot of festivals. We have Hub City Days, Dairy Fest, Maple Fall Fest. The downtown park, Wenzel Family Plaza, has Friday night concerts, and the splash pad is open all the time for the kids to play in the water while you have a picnic. It's kind of our version of the 400 block in
Oh
Wausau,
yeah.
albeit a smaller version, but the same
Hmm.
type of thing, to have a good time as a concert, an activity, or just a family picnic. So there's a lot to do in the city of Marshfield. It's really going to cook up here in the next 7 or so days.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And then something else that's going to have to be in the back of your mind, because it's in the back of everybody's mind right now, just because it was indeed just announced and because it involves the Green Bay Packers, and we all know how much well, those of us that are Packer, or those of you that are Packers fans, love the Packers. Somebody like me can take them or leave them because we love the Jaguars so much. Uh, the NFL draft coming to Wisconsin. Is this something that is on your radar? right now? And is this something that you expect to cash in a buck or two on in 2 years?
Me personally?
Well, you personally, the city, either or,
Well, hey, let me add on to your Jaguars thing. I'm from Minnesota, so
of course.
to the degree that I'm a football fan, I'm still with the Minnesota Vikings, which of course has been a painful ride, right?
Well,
But
you're getting no sympathy from me as a Jaguars fan who
oh,
had the
that's
first
true.
pick in the draft 2 years in a row. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
the Jaguars every year they start off with all this optimism, and oftentimes it doesn't pan out. So I feel
tell you
bad.
what, it's painful. It's
It's
painful.
painful. Yeah, are you from that area?
I am not. No, I had a relative who played for him back in the 90s. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I had that connection.
it's kind of fun to see how it pans out, and I'm
Hmm.
not a big gambler myself, but
Right.
but it's kind of fun to follow these things. And boy, I'll tell you, when I moved here from Minnesota, years ago, I really learned that football here is everything. In
Hmm.
Minnesota, it's fun, but in Green Bay, it's a
It
other
is
level.
indeed on a whole nother level. And I'm sure that's what the NFL is looking to cash in on. It seems like it's going to be a great opportunity, not only for Green Bay, but as we mentioned, the estimates here in the Wausau area are an economic impact of between 500 and 900 million dollars. I'm sure again you
Yeah,
are probably going to be thinking about this because the impact I would think would extend to the Marshfield area as
yeah,
well.
yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it will be a big positive, and hard to quantify exactly how much, but very much worth it. Good point.
Yeah, yeah, get ready. I mean, those hotel rooms are going to fill up pretty quickly, and there will be drives
Yeah,
from
yeah,
other
yeah,
communities. I guess no different than the U.S. Senior Open, which is coming up in a
yeah.
couple of weeks, which I'm sure you're also benefiting from.
Definitely, we're getting the outflow from that. I mean, that's a major event for Central Wisconsin, and yeah, we're getting interest in terms of lodging and those types of things here, and we're glad to be part of that. How exciting it is to have the Senior Open be here in Central Wisconsin.
Yeah, definitely not something I ever thought I would have the opportunity to cover here. I'm certainly
Yeah,
glad it's going to be here though, because I've got a feeling that we're going to make a lot of great impressions on people either saying, I want to play that course or I want to check out that community.
yeah, I agree, and it's a good way to show off Central Wisconsin. The average person probably doesn't know a lot about Wisconsin if they're not from here, and maybe they know about Milwaukee or Madison or maybe Green Bay, if they've been to Lambeau, but they're probably not going to be familiar with this area, and they're going to find it to be a very beautiful and very nice place to come for this tournament.
Hmm. Are you getting into any long drive competitions? Is John Daly maybe coming to town to do some exhibitions beforehand that you're going to be a
Not,
part of?
not that I'm aware of, but I had to
Okay.
talk to Matt McLean, our tourism person from Visit Marshfield, and see if he's aware of something like that coming together. I mean, this is our moment to kind of to capitalize on the opportunity.
I'm just saying John Daly's a great guy. I'm sure he would accommodate. He may even stop by for a pint.
Oh, there you go.
Indeed.
You sound like you
Indeed.
know him personally.
I've had interactions,
Okay.
and know people that have. So,
Okay.
Steve, we always appreciate the time. Again,
Yeah.
good luck with a lot of these projects. It sounds like you've got a lot of great things teed up for the city of Marshfield this summer and into the rest of the year.
We do. And even we have 4 new council members, that means new ideas. So look for some innovative thoughts to come out of the council chambers and some ideas for how to improve the city going forward.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to it.
Sounds good, Michael. Take care.
Yep.